everybody? I'm B Adams. Thanks once again for tuning into the channel. Yeah. Today's the day. Today's the day we take the T MAXX over to the pros that know, because we don't know. Take that thing over to HobbyTown to holler at our guy Steve to take a fine-tooth comb to this thing and see what we got. If you remember last time we were here, we did get a vintage T MAXX, a Traxxas T MAXX from one of our good buddies who's in tune with the channel. Wanted to see if we can get this thing running, see what's to it, see if we can break her down and build her back up so she can fly off the line. Well, we didn't quite know exactly what we were looking at due to the fact that we have never done anything with Nitro cars over here at the I'm Driving RC mechanic shop and custom shop. Trying to see if this thing is a stud or a dud. HobbyTown, Orland Park. Steve, we on the way, baby. All right, let's see what they say. Taking this big girl in here, see what they say. What's going on, man? All right. Going to the back. All right. Steve, what's going on? Sure. How are you? What's going on, man? You know I always got something going. I always got something going on, man.
What's going on?
All right, this here, I got this from a buddy of mine. Had it in stores, don't know nothing about it. So he gave it to me to see if I can get it started. But I don't know anything about Nitro cars. And I see he's missing the starting wand that goes in here. But I just wanted to bring it over here and
put a motor in it.
Put a motor in it? Motor's locked up?
So the problem with these things when they sit for a long time,
okay,
right, I can free this motor up,
okay,
and I can get it to spin, and I can probably get it to run.
Okay.
The problem becomes all of the seals on the card, on the front, right, the front bearing,
yep,
that has to seal because it's a two-stroke, so it uses the crankcase for fuel, right? So the seal on that bearing, the seals on the card, everything is going to be worn out.
Okay.
So I can probably get it to run, but it's going to run not great. Not great. And then it won't take a tune.
Okay.
I'll sit there and I'll fight tuning it
right,
for hours, trying to get it to even work correctly, just to come to the conclusion it's going to need a motor.
Need a motor.
Right.
Okay.
Now, problem number 2. This is a first gen T MAXX.
Right, that's what I wanted to find out. I wanted to find out exactly which one, because I knew it was a 2 point something and then the 3.3 or something like that.
This is even before that. This is the Pro 15.
The Pro 15.
So this is the original.
The OG.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the one that I had when it first came out.
Okay.
Right, with the rotary carb instead of a slide carb.
Okay.
So the issue is that I think you can still get a Pro 15 motor. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
And upgrading it on this platform really isn't worth it.
Okay.
Because you'll end up having to change the chassis.
All right.
To accommodate the slide carb mount, which has to go right in here, which there's no provision for, because this whole linkage gets flipped around, and this linkage actually comes back this way, and then there's a slide carb deal that goes on there.
Okay.
And then you need the other conversion kit that gives you the different header, the different exhaust pipe, and you need the motor. And you need me to do all the labor.
Right.
So by the time you do all of that,
it wouldn't be worth it.
You could walk over there and buy a $430 brand new 3.3 T MAXX, which is way better than this one ever was.
Right.
And have something that everything's brand new.
Okay.
Especially once you buy the wand and the battery.
Right.
And yeah, it's just Nitro cars do not have value to them.
Okay.
Because of those motors.
Okay.
Right.
I get it. So, best case scenario.
Now, all that being said.
Right.
if you're willing to do all the hard part, all the hard labor, right? Get a hairdryer or a heat gun, heat up the motor, right? Until this will move.
Okay.
And then, right, we can sell you the wand, which is $15. The battery's 30 something. I'm sure you have a charger that'll charge a nickel metal.
Yep.
Right? So we'll get you an adapter that'll be able to charge that battery.
Okay.
Right? So you're $10 in, $12 in on that. So $12.50, right? You're going to be $75 or $80 in just to get maybe get it going.
Right,
maybe get it going. Wow, I'm shocked that's free. These always freeze up. That one's good. That one's good. Cool.
Yeah, actually,
so there's a couple things that are still okay.
If I could, like, if
right. And it is on the older radio.
Yeah, it's on the older radio, but it do.
It does steering and throttle things.
Yeah, it do some steering and throttle stuff.
That's a plus.
That's a good plus, and it's not really too beat up.
It looks like he barely.
Yeah, it looked like he barely ran it. So
you might get lucky, and that motor might be okay. Maybe. Right. For me to do it, it's going to end up costing you, probably $150 to $200 for me to find out if it's going to be worth it or not.
Okay.
Or it'll be 80 something bucks for you to buy the stuff to be able to spin the motor over, right? Go home, a little bit of elbow grease, free up the motor, get it fired up. You'll probably need new fuel line.
Okay.
Right, because it's old fuel line. And hopefully he drained everything and the little pickup in the bottom of this tank isn't crudded up.
Okay.
And it'll actually flow fuel.
Okay.
You'll probably have to bottle feed it to get it to start.
Right.
It's a process.
I see it's a process.
And then it's going to need a clutch. I guarantee, because that clutch spring, the metal clutch spring, they rust out if they sit for a long time.
Okay.
And they snap. So you'll get it started, and then the thing will want to go forward all the time, and that's because the clutch spring inside of here broke.
Okay.
You need a clutch. They're $10, but you got to pull the motor to do it.
Right.
Right.
It seems like everything's gonna be a job to this car.
Yeah, and that's the way Nitro is.
Okay.
And that's why literally I have this talk with probably once or twice a week lately. With guys who come in with T MAXXs, because everybody had one.
Right,
That's been sitting in their garage for 3 or 4 years. Man, I want to get this thing going. Cool. Let me show you.
Right. Let me show you
the brand new one.
Your alternatives over here.
Yeah, that's going to be way better because it's going to work out of the box.
Right,
you know, and everything will be brand new.
Well, like I say, this isn't particularly mine, so I just got this just to see what we could do with it. So I'm going to transfer all of this information to the actual owner.
Okay.
And we're gonna see how far he wants to take it. And I give you all a call. I think I talked to you earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll give you all a call if we hit any more roadblocks, or if he wants to bring it back and let you go through it, or if he want to get the stuff and let me try my hand at it and we go through it, and
Right, so you're $80 to get started on for you to do it, and 80, 90 or $100 to get started on you guys doing it, and you're probably $150 to $200 for me to get started doing it.
Okay.
So just to keep that in the back of your mind.
Hey Steve, you're the man. Why you think I'm here? When I got it, I say, you know what? I'm just gonna go take this to Steve. I thought about you specifically. I said, I'm just gonna take this to Steve.
I appreciate it.
I'm not finna even play with it. But I thought, like I say, when the power came on, the wheels started turning. I said, all right, it's
yeah. You got on the electronic side, you're still working.
Right, and I thought, because I'm like, it couldn't have been too much wear and tear.
It's clean. Dude.
Look at it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a brand new truck.
So, and then the body's like not beat up.
I've seen them in far worse condition.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
so the big variable is whether or not this thing is going to run.
Right.
And like I said, they'll almost all run no matter how bad they get. It's just a matter of whether or not it'll actually take a tune.
Okay. Now, I noticed this from like the drag cars and like that I had. Now, is this supposed to move as freely like this? Okay.
Yeah, so this particular version of this truck has a centrifugal clutch inside of the transmission. Okay. And it doesn't engage until this reaches a certain RPM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how they did the decouple so that you could shift gears.
Okay.
In the newer one, they have what's called an opti drive. Actually, in the newest one, they got rid of reverse. But in like the Revo, we'll use as an example because it still has reverse.
Right.
They have an OptiDrive, and what it does is there's a sensor on the shaft, and it tells this little box whether or not it's spinning too fast, and it won't let you shift until the idle comes down, and then it'll shift. But this was a completely mechanical system.
Right.
So it's actually, it's almost more reliable. But it does this, and then the other characteristic thing with this truck is if it's idles slightly high, it'll jerk. It'll sit there and go boom. It'll sit there and do that, and it's because it's idling just high enough where that centrifugal clutch wants to grab.
Right.
But it's not. It won't grab enough because it's not revving out.
Okay. So cool.
It's a telltale of these trucks. This is just the way the trans was.
Well, you know I know where to find you.
Yeah.
So we gonna start from square one.
Very cool.
Like I say, we're gonna get this thing back to my buddy, and we're gonna see exactly what he want to do with it. 9 times out of 10, he gonna say let's take the alley mechanic approach first, see if we can get it going.
Because to be honest, you may get this thing running, and it may run good enough to have a good time with. Right. and you're good enough with
but
that.
Even if we still get it running, I'm still coming back.
Right.
Because I gotta see how good it is if we get it running.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
All right. Well.
Yeah. If you get it completely running and it just fires up on its own, and it fires up and it'll run, $30 for me to take it out back and tune it.
Okay.
Right.
Perfect.
You'll have to leave it with me for a few days.
That's cool.
I don't tune when it's 95 degrees outside because A, it sucks.
Right.
B, I don't like tuning a motor for 95 degrees because it's not going to stay like this. Right. So I don't tune below usually 65, and I don't tune above like 80. Okay. Because it's too much of a swing. Because in 2 weeks, when the weather flips, it's going to be 72. And if I tuned it for 95, it's going to run way different. And then you're going to be struggling to try to find that happy spot again.
What I'm experiencing at the drag track.
There you go.
You know, I didn't get to tell you we're at the drag track now. Okay. I finally made it out there, and
what are you running?
2.5s. Nice. We're down to 2.5s. When I first went, my first day, I ran 2.7s. I think it was 2.7.4. Okay. And no, 2.7.4, then 2.7.0.
This is on that Losi, right?
Yeah.
That Losi drag. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember now.
So then I changed the pinion and spur setup from the 1684 to a 2187.
That's a big jump, yeah.
Got the magnesium motor plate, carbon fiber pads. Yeah. Hit them 2.5, and then I switched to the accelerate wheel and rear tire setup. Okay. Somebody out there gave me a deal on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Soon as it hit the ground, I've never heard the car skirt like that. When I say
it's grabbing.
Oh, grabbing. 2.5s, 2.5s, 2.5s. I said, oh yeah, here we go.
Nice.
Now my fastest time before is my slowest time now.
That's awesome.
So if I know if I'm messing up, I'm going 2.7s. If I'm on point, I'm going 2.5s.
Yeah.
So man, I'm having a ball.
Cool.
I didn't expect, you know what, I didn't have any expectations, but I didn't expect to walk straight in the door and hear the motor's locked, get another motor, it's done. As soon as I put it on the counter. Major shout out to Steve over there at HobbyTown in Orland Park. Definitely one of my go-to people when I need something, when I have a problem with something and I need parts or whatever I need. Steve's definitely one of the guys on my go-to list for sure. One thing that I am very glad to know from Steve is what we have. We have an original Traxxas T MAXX Pro 15. The OG. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you see what we're up against. You see our options here. But the first thing we have to do before we can even make a choice is see if she'll turn over. Yes. We have to see if we can get that lock motor to turn. And if we can get it to turn, like Steve said, we might have a chance. A slim chance, but we got a chance. And we'll take that. All right, this is the moment of truth. We're going to see if we can get this motor unlocked right here. Now, I'm no professional. I've just watched it a few times on YouTube, and I'm going to take a stab at it myself. Now, in theory, I should be able to lock this flathead screwdriver in between one of these sections and push and see if this will move. So that's what we're gonna do. Here we go, baby. Moment of truth. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh. Oh. Yeah. She's a little tough. But we got her moving. It's a slow move. Success, baby. Success. Newbies on the rise. Newbies on the rise. As you can see, it took a lot of pressure to turn that thing, and it was a slow turn after a lot of burn. But we got her. We got her moving, Jack. We got her moving. It was probably so slow you probably couldn't catch it on the camera. But we made it happen. We made it happen. So now, yes, we can follow up with everything Steve told us to do to be able to unlock that motor. Now I got to put a shopping list together for my buddy to go out and get the wine, the fluid, the oil, whatever Steve said we need, that's what we're gonna get. So we can get this thing rocking and rolling, baby. Yeah, Newbies on the rise. Our first Nitro car. I don't know what I'm doing at all, period. But I am willing to try my hand at it because, as you can see on the channel, we break our own stuff all the time and have to fix it. So you can say we like a challenge. We like a challenge over here on the channel. So yes, we are going to try our hand to get this Traxxas T MAXX Pro 15 running. And don't cut the video off, because I know you're going to cut the video off when I go into my spiel, because a lot of you aren't doing this. I need you to do this, what I'm saying right now. I need you to smash the subscribe button. Everybody, go smash the subscribe button. Comment under the videos on our progress with the T MAXX. What you think about me? I got that boy to turn after some burn, baby. Get in the comments. Like the video, tell a friend to tell 2-3 more friends to get in tune with us on the channel over here at I'm Driving. Until the next time, y'all, I'm B. Adams, y'all, and I'm driving.